But we heard some stories this time of people using those for also for equipment. You know, they put their tractors and their things up there that would otherwise be ruined by the flood. So that's another benefit of those.
Farm paths.
Critter paths is cute though.
Everybody wants to save a critter.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
That's true.
Oh my goodness. So now you've been on the job here for,
well, on the mayor job just a couple of weeks, but as city
when
councilor.
this hit.
What? Yeah,
when this hit,
right,
you're like, of course.
That's right. Yeah, and what they're saying I think is entirely accurate. The flood mitigation work that we've done, and there's a variety of it. It's the gauges, it's moving things, it's raising houses, etc. It worked, but we were also lucky. And I was out at the sandbag station for hours with the prediction of what the Skookumchuck was going to do, thinking, okay, what's going to happen after this? How are we going to help the thousands of families that are about to be displaced? And I'm relieved that we weren't there, but it was just a very heartfelt experience knowing what was likely going to come, and then it didn't, so thank goodness. But if things had changed with the Chehalis, that this tour would be entirely different.
I don't know, we'd be touring, we'd be digging out. There's going to be a lot of... That's sobering to think about how closely I feel like the bullet was dodged.
Yeah, absolutely. And all the efforts that your group and everyone has done has been
to let people know.
Well, it's the warning. I mean, as a community, we know what to do, right? I mean, people know to go to the sandbag station and help, and that's actually a wonderful community spirit kind of day. And Commissioner Swope was really integral in pulling together Community Cleanup Day, and we had 300 people come out to help pick up, because floods leave garbage, and it's awful. So we do have that community spirit and community connectedness, but it's the warning and the alerts, but it's also moving houses up and, you know, keeping this area as a park so that what you're looking at is damage of a playground versus a business with thousands of dollars of income lost. But then we're looking at more intentional things like the retention center that will really make a difference, because the other thing that happens in our community is, you know, we have hills, they become islands. During the height of the flooding, we had no east, north, south route open out of our community, and we only had one east-west route. So I live over there on a hill, so my personal life wasn't at risk, which freed me up to help. The shelter, the temporary shelter, was over there at the middle school, and the only way to get there was, I don't know, a 10-mile detour, because you all know the route that I would have had to take. And so finding ways to keep our roads accessible and make sure that folks that are just traveling through, because we're a traveling through community to the folks on I-5, aren't trying to load up our side streets and block access to emergencies is really critical.
I had a conversation with another of your commissioners the morning of. It was literally, she had kind of given me a whole list of, you need to call the governor now because of exactly what you just said. Like, the flooding isn't, what we're seeing is not catastrophic, but what is catastrophic is that all of I-5 being closed is sending all those people into the community. We literally can't access emergency. Depending on where you're at, you can't access emergencies. So I literally had finished the call with her, and I went to hit call because I had connected with the governor the night before, and he said, I'm available. And literally as I went to call her, she called back and said, they just opened I-5. And it was like a sound, it was relief.
Yeah, because while it wasn't catastrophic at a community level, it was catastrophic for the people being impacted.
Oh my gosh.
And life goes on. There's other kinds of emergencies happening at the same time, and having that access closed off stopped everything.
And it provided a wake-up call, because sometimes folks, oh, Lewis County and their floods, but when you stop I-5, then everybody listens.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
There's something in between Seattle and Portland?
Yes. Yes. So that helps us in our advocacy, actually. So when we say what happens.
It's true. It's true. I mean, there has been, I feel like it definitely raised the attention level when I had reached out the night before to the governor. He expressed appreciation that, hey, let us know what's happening, keep us posted. But I think his staff is already looking at it, because I think your teams had already reached out as well. you something what's happening.
And now Senate Ways and Means wants us to come and talk about the warning system, what things we've done to capture their attention again. So, I mean,
that's great. So, you're going to use that opportunity as well to give them an update on the collaborative work of the group and take those opportunities.
They want to
I don't want to take everybody's entire morning, but I'm sure I'll ask, are there other things that, I mean, just really highlights to me, and I didn't actually think that was going to be the case when I came. I thought I was going to be looking at more kind of how can you help us make sure that there are FEMA doors open and disaster assistance, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. But really, this is a giant highlight of the need for the flood control, or the water retention system. I think that's how I do it.
language is
Yeah.
important.
So yeah, on the FEMA side, it's early.